Yes, brothers, welcome to another video. Why you're not shredded? Let's be honest, a lot of gym bros never get truly shredded. And even when they do, they look flat, they look depleted, they look drained. And a lot of the time you've been told to cut things like carbs, skip meals, to keep training more, to fast for longer. But that doesn't actually work long term because it ignores biology and it ignores energy balance as well. And this presentation will go through 16 real reasons why you're not shredded and how to fix each one in a way that actually builds you up instead of breaking you down. So this is about becoming a metabolic furnace, to be hormonally dialed in and just genuinely radiant, not just lean for Instagram. And let's not forget as well, summer is literally 25 days away. So if you're not where you want to be, now is the time to fix it. And this is your wake up call. I don't care how many steps you've done. If you're inflamed, you're bloated, you're low test and low energy, you'll never really carve that jacked physique. So this is your red pill. This is 16 reasons why your body is stuck in limbo and how to fix it using science and logic. And we'll get rid of all the lies, get rid of the excuses as well, and turn your, as I said at the start, turn your body into a metabolic furnace. So let's get into the video. So first of all, here's what they don't tell you. Fat isn't your body's preferred fuel. It is literally just the backup generator. And yet every man on a low carb grind thinks that this is like cutting edge. And essentially just burning your body into the ground. You need carbs, you need the glucose. It's how your cells actually breathe. It's what fuels your thyroid, which is basically the control tower of your metabolism. It keeps your testosterone online, it keeps you strong, it keeps you sharp and anabolic as well. But if you stay in this low carb for too long, your body adapts, it starts conserving energy, you plateau, you get moody, you feel flat, you feel weak, and you stop looking like a specimen. So this isn't about eating like a little 12-year-old kid, it's about fueling your body to actually thrive. Things like fruit, honey, orange juice, raw milk, these aren't just treats, these are actual tools. So if you're stuck, you just need to let go of sort of fearing sugar all the time. I did a tweet on this today. You need to stop fearing stress hormones as well. And if your metabolism is frozen, I don't care how hard you're actually training, you're not going to be burning fat. You're just going to be surviving, right? And you're not going to be thriving. And a lot of guys, they're overtrained, they're underfed. They're just making this a lot harder for themselves. Having things like cold hands, cold feet, not being able to get up quickly in the morning, that is not normal. That is the metabolism. It's begging for some warmth, for some fuel, for some safety. And you don't speed up your engine by starving it all the time. You feed it with an abundance of clean carbs, deep sleep, an abundance of sunlight, lots of walking, lots of sort of nervous system resets. And if you want fat loss, you need a furnace, not a cold flickering flame. You need metabolic health, so you have this fat burning freedom. Muscle isn't just about aesthetics, it's biology. It's the engine that burns through calories while you're just sitting down. And most lads are skinny fat, with this sort of soft look, puffy belly, and no real definition. And that is not just genetics, it's a lack of intention. So you build muscle and everything changes. Your body becomes a furnace. Food gets partitioned into tissue instead of fat. Your hormones reset, your testosterone climbs, and your insulin sensitivity improves as well. And this is why resistance training or weight training, whatever you want to call it, it's not optional. It's going to help you through every aspect of your life. And muscle is, it's literally your biological advantage and the most underrated fat burning tool on the planet. Most guys are trying to shred on this broken machinery. It's like if you're running on a Ferrari with this half dead engine and wondering why you're not flying, your hormones are literally the command center. If your thyroid's sluggish, if your testosterone is in the gutter, if you're riding cortisol high all day long, your body's going to cling to fat like it's preparing for war. And this is essentially survival mode, and your body doesn't care about aesthetics when it's under a lot of threat. You've got to restore this balance and get your internal systems on your side. You're not eating enough of the right stuff. This one will shock a lot of people, especially the 1800 calories and cardio warriors. If you're constantly in a massive deficit, you're skipping meals, or you're just having caffeine all day long, you're not teaching your body to burn fat. You're teaching it to store it. And when your body thinks food is scarce, it just slows everything down. Your thyroid tanks, your hormones flatline, your energy crashes, and then the fat just clings on. And that's not discipline. Believe me, I've literally lived both ends of the spectrum. I was once doing 2 meals a day, hammering HIIT training, always doing fasting, and I felt dead inside. I was inflamed, I was irritable, and I wasn't really shredded. I didn't have this abundance of energy. When I switched to the abundant style of cutting, this high protein, lots of carbs, real food, no real fear of calories, the fat actually melted off and I trained harder. I recovered faster, and I was actually living. So essentially, fat loss isn't about starvation all the time. It's actually fueling correctly and letting your body do what it's supposed to do. Your nervous system is fried. I learned this the hard way. Back when I was doing full-time PT work in a gym in London, I was doing literally 40 hours a week of PT, back-to-back clients. I was barely sleeping for 6 hours a night. I was slamming 4 coffees before noon. And my training was shit. My body looked flat, puffy. It was weak. My digestion was bad, and I was constantly agitated. I was also in a toxic relationship, and I was completely burnt out. And I couldn't figure out why I was plateauing, even though I was quote unquote doing everything right. But from what I understand now, when your nervous system is fried, your body doesn't care about your goals. It just wants to survive all the time. So you can eat clean, you can train hard, but if your body thinks it's in danger 24/7, it's going to cling on to this fat. It's going to tank your hormones, and essentially it's just going to shut down your recovery. And now I'm on a 4-day week split. I'm out in nature all the time. I'm in sun as much as possible. I sleep well, and I get, like I said, as much sunlight as I possibly can. I have my own schedule, and I've never looked and I've never felt better than I am now. You've been lied to about carbs. Let's just kill the biggest myth in the fitness world, is that carbs make you fat. It's not that carbs make you fat, it's the excess stress, it's the poor sleep, it's shoving down protein bars with seed oils that make you fat. And when I cut carbs years ago, I thought I was doing the right thing, this high protein, low carb, shredded, right? But it was actually far from the case. I lost fullness, I looked inflamed, I felt anxious all the time, my libido tanked, I didn't have any morning wood, and my lifts plateaued. My sleep was also trash. And then later on down the line, I found the Ray Peat approach, where sugar isn't the villain. In fact, fruit, honey, orange juice, they are the real medicine. They feed your metabolism. And they do that because the carbs lower cortisol. They restore liver glycogen. They give you the energy to train hard and actually recover like a beast. They're brain food, they're hormone fuel. And now I start my day with things like orange juice, organic fruit, not just because it tastes good, but because I want to walk around feeling incredible. And if the carbs are done right, you have this really nice glow, you have good recovery, amazing strength in the gym, this energy, this testosterone. And the real reason why you're always craving junk, if you're constantly craving this BS food, it's not about you being weak, it's because your body is running on empty. And most guys are stuck in this cortisol loop, not getting enough sleep, stimulants all day, low carb meals, training fasted, and they wonder why they end up demolishing this junk food. And cravings are just these sort of survival signals. And when your metabolism is tanked, your brain thinks that you're starving, so it pushes you towards these hyper palatable foods for quick energy. But you can fix that by regulating your blood sugar, by eating these real foods, by prioritizing fruit and root vegetables, saturated fats, cholesterol, keeping your cortisol levels down and your dopamine stable. So if you do that, your cravings will vanish, you'll feel calm, and your hunger then will be rhythmic, right? Your body will start trusting you again. And that's when you start taking control, and when fat loss becomes effortless. So you don't need discipline. You just need to cut out all this BS food because it's making everything 10 times harder. And this happens quite a lot of the time. A lot of these gym bros are just quote unquote cutting, but they're actually becoming catabolic. They're slashing the calories way too hard. They're hammering HIIT training all the time. They're living on caffeine, and they actually end up smaller and flatter, not just leaner, because the first thing your body sacrifices when you're overtrained and underfed is muscle, right? And muscle is the engine, that is the furnace, that is the real fat burning weapon. And if you start stripping that away and your metabolism slows to a crawl, you just become a smaller version of the same problem. So to move forwards, we need to train heavy, but eat enough. Stop fearing real food and build and preserve lean mass, especially when you're cutting. Because when you hold on to muscle, you burn more at rest, and your hormones are then humming, and you actually look like you lift. And aesthetics, this is where we have this jacked physique, right? Aesthetics are built in a surplus, and you think you're not lean because of willpower, but it's actually your hormones screaming at you. And I lived this in my early 20s, training twice a day sometimes, believe it or not. I was fasting a lot, did the low carb, and I was chasing abs whilst my testosterone was absolutely in the gutter. I was waking up at one point at like 4 a.m. with anxiety, no morning wood, living off caffeine. And it's not that you're undisciplined. You're just in burnout mode, and your cortisol's through the roof, your thyroid is barely functioning, and testosterone is so low, you're wondering why you don't even feel like a man anymore. And this isn't just about looking good. It's reclaiming your biological power. If your hormones are off whack, fat loss becomes an absolute fantasy. Your body clings onto fat as survival. You've got to fix your hormones, and then suddenly your body will start letting go. It starts trusting you again. So we're not just shredding here. We're not just getting peeled. We're trying to restore that sort of masculine blueprint. You might be addicted to stress and not even know it. You might be waking up, grabbing your phone instantly. You've got 10 tabs open. You've got multiple podcasts going on, and you've just got this constant noise. It's not that you're lazy, you're just absolutely frazzled, and your body is stuck in this fight or flight. You're running from these imaginary problems all day long, and that just means your cortisol climbs, your digestive system shuts down, your blood sugar tanks, you're craving junk food, and your body starts to store fat in this survival mode. And fat loss doesn't happen in a stress state. It happens in safety. You need a calm nervous system. You need sun. You need walks. You need to be mindful of your breath. You need this silence throughout the day. So essentially, you just need this peace to burn fat. And ironically, as soon as you stop chasing, your body starts to let go. Most people think that fat loss is just eating less all the time. But to be clear, you don't need to starve yourself to get shredded. You get shredded by feeding your body and keeping your stress low. I've lived on both sides of the coin. I've skipped meals. I've run on coffee. I've trained hard with nothing in a tank. And all I've got then is this brain fog, these cravings, and that kind of like flat physique. So now I'll fast maybe once a month for like 3 days as a reset. And then the rest of the time, it's just abundance, fruit until noon. Nutrient-dense meals, a system that actually builds the body. As I said, fasting, like it has its time and place, but you shouldn't be scared of food all the time. And if you're going to fast, make it deliberate, make it strategic, and then get back to feeding your metabolism like you actually want to look and feel good. Your training should just stimulate you rather than doing this junk volume. It's not always about doing more. It's just about training with purpose. So that's why I do a lot less volume now and just prioritize recovery. So really, when you're training like this, every single rep has a purpose. And when you combine that with sleep, sunlight, and food that actually is going to support you, this is where you're going to recover. This is how you're going to grow. So if your workouts are draining you and not fueling you, you've just got it backwards. Most gym bros, they hammer weights all the time, but they still look puffy. And that's because they're sat down all day. They're lifting for an hour a day or 3 hours a week, and then they're just sat down for most of the day. And that's not vitality. That's just dysfunction. And really, the easiest way to do this is just walking. It's no secret, super simple. It's low impact, low stress, and it's high return. So when I'm getting shredded, I am just walking a lot. I'm morning sunlight, midday sunlight. I just walk as much as I can. It just keeps me lean without really crashing on the calories. So it also helps with clearing the mind, helps with digestion. It balances my blood sugar, and I don't do this for the calorie burn. I just do it to stay in this flow state. So walking, of course, is how we're meant to live. It's moving through nature, breathing, being present. So you don't need to overcomplicate this. You literally just need to move more. Steps, walks, morning light, post-meal strolls, phone calls outside, business calls outside. Just be a man that actually moves. You can literally be doing everything right with the perfect macros, elite training, your supplements dialed in. But if your sleep is wrecked, you're literally just like running uphill with a 20-kilogram weighted vest strapped to your nervous system. So when I was in London, for example, I was grinding 40 hours a week. I was in this toxic relationship, and I was potentially maybe even sleeping like 6 hours a night. And I looked inflamed. I felt like generally very flat, this anxiety. I was training like dog shit. And this was my wake up call. Sleep really is going to be your absolute game changer. So nowadays I am quite autistic with my sleep routine. I have mouth tape to support nasal breathing. I have a 3D blackout eye mask as well. I'm sleeping in complete darkness. I won't have blue light past 9 p.m. I'm taking magnesium, taurine, glycine, all to wind down. I won't have caffeine until midday. I'll have red light in the evening and no heavy meals 2 hours before bed. So take it seriously. Take your sleep just as seriously as you do with your training, and then your physique will finally click. All right, guys, if you're still here, you get it. This isn't just about abs. It's about mastery, about finally understanding how your body actually works and refusing to be like burnt out all the time and these overstimulated men you see everywhere. So we've exposed the lies, the overtraining, the starvation, and now you've got the blueprint, and it's rooted in biology, not this bro science. So this is how we build this jacked look. It's how we step into the summer feeling peeled, feeling powerful, feeling alive, and you don't have to suffer for it. You just need to align your biology, your energy, your environment. So anyway, if you got value from this video, drop me a like, leave me a comment, and let me know which part actually hit the hardest. So I'm going to be dropping these free long form videos every single day, no fluff, no filters. I'm trying to like completely minimalize the editing. If I fumble my words, then that's absolutely fine. I'm keeping it raw. I'm keeping my truth. So yeah, if you want to become this specimen over the summer, stay tuned for my videos, and yeah, let's make this summer an absolute belter.